want to find the equations of a line using these given informations. From the question, you are given a point that join, or a straight line that joins the intersection of two given lines. So let's say, assuming this is just an assumption purpose, assuming this is a straight line joining the intersection of what, a different two lines. So look at something. So this is a straight line going this way joining the intersection. So this is the intersection of what, the two lines. So you are given the point here, right? So this point is joining these two lines. So let's call this one line 1, let's call this one line 2. So the first person and the second person. The intersection means that where exactly they meet, right? So this is a straight line joining the line. Okay? So you should find the equations of what, the new line. So the first thing here, you must know exactly what the equations of line is before you can move on. The equations of a line looks like something of this nature, right? So this and this are some of the two equations of a line you can think of. So this is how exactly it will look like. If this is a variable in numbers that you are worried about, don't think about them, right? So I'll just explain this thing in just a few minutes. But one thing you must know before you solve any equations of almost all the equations under the equations of a line is this guy, right? This is the only key that can take you to the equations of a line. So this guy will help you convert it to something of this nature. So you must know this thing, right? And I will explain this in just a few minutes. But when you say equations of a line, this is exactly who or what we can call the equations of a line. And I will explain that for you to have the equations of a line, out of these people, you need what, only this guy, that is the y1. You need the m, which is the gradient, as well as what, the x1. So out of the 5 people here, so 1 2 3 4 5, you need 3 of them to be available for you to rewrite this thing in the form of what, this guy here. So let's look at how to solve that. From the question, you are given these two equations, right? So this is one equation, this is the second guy, that is the x minus y plus 4 equal to 0. So let's name that the first equation here, or the first line here, and then the second one, that is the y minus 2x minus 5 equal to 0, the second what, line or the equation. Now what do you know? They say you should find the equations of the new line. So what it means is that you must know the equations of the line that I explained earlier on, and then out of that you need your gradient, right? You need the m and the x1 and the y1. By the way, you are given 1 point to be that is 3,2, right? So 3,2, you are given this point. Okay, with this point can be our x1 and the y1. So what about the gradient? For that reason, we need the gradient before we can move on. Fine, this is the only thing that we are given. So out of these two guys, we are told that these two guys intersect, meaning that they meet, right? This guy intersects, meaning that they meet. So whatever they intersect, the point there is the same. Just that you and your friend meet at a certain joint, both of you are at the same place. So let's find out exactly where you guys are by solving these two equations. Okay, so the only way you can solve this equation is one method, is simultaneous equation. So by the simultaneous equation, you have two ways of solving that. So either by elimination or substitution. Which one you are good at, you may go for that. But here I'm using a substitution method. So you can see that here, I say that from equation 1. So meaning that from this guy here, what is happening here? Okay, here I want to make the s the subject, I want the x to stand alone. Is that okay? So once I get the s, I can find the y. So I make the y, the x the subject here. That is the x is equal to y minus 4, right? Everybody is crossing the equal sign. Okay, now since I have the s to be equal to what, y minus 4, I can plug this s into the second equation for me to solve it very easy. If you don't know how to solve the simultaneous equation, just comment down below, right? Okay, so here I have what, substitute s equal to y minus 4 into the second equation, because here I make s the subject here, so I cannot plug the s into the first equation again. I need to go to the second one. So once I replace this x by what, y minus 4, then let's have that into the second equation. This is the second equation that we are having. That is what, y minus 2x minus 5 equal to 0. And then we are told that this x here, look at what the x is what, y minus 4. So whatever I see this guy x here, I can replace it by what, y minus 4. So here I'm having y minus 4 2s minus 5 equal to 0. So the x here is what? Y minus 4, right? So here we are having y to be equal to 2 minus y minus 2 into bracket y minus 4. So this y minus 4 is just the x here. We are replacing, okay, minus 5. So let's expand the bracket. If you expand the bracket, you get something of this nature, right? So here you can see that the reasons for the substitution is that we are going to get only one variable. Okay, so when substituting, you have your y to be equal to 3 here. Is that okay? So once we get this y, we can find the second one. So what do? You just pick this value of y and then plug in inside any of the two equations, right? Any of the two equations give. What I mean by any of the two equations, these are the equations that we are having, right? Once we get the one of the variable, we can find the second one. Is that okay? So plug in into any of the two equations. So here I decide to plug that into first equation. That is the equation 1. So solving that will give me this is the equation, right? X minus y plus 4 equal to 0. But we know that this our y is equal to 3. Okay, we are just replacing this y by 3 here. So x minus 3 plus 4 equal to 0. So when you solve this, you have your x to be minus 1. Like, why are we doing all this thing? We want to know the point of the intersection of the two guys, right? So this is the point of the intersection here where they are meeting. So this is the first guy, this is the second. Where they meet is exactly what we are looking for. So now that you have the x and the y, so the x here is minus 1 and then comma what 3. So this is exactly where the two guys intersect or where they meet. Okay, why are we doing all this? We are doing all this thing for us to get a gradient, right? So we know that from the equations of a line, we need to have the gradient as well as any of the points. So we are given this from the question, that is what 3,2, and then what we find the point of the intersection is what minus 1,3. So with these two guys, we can find the gradient. Okay, how do you find the gradient? We know that the gradient normally we place that by m. So m here stands for the gradient. That is y2 minus 1. So this is the image of the gradient. That is the only thing you have to use in solving the gradient, right? That is one way at the high school. So that's the y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus s1. So you need to know this guy. So this is the image of the gradient. Whenever they say call me a gradient, you must go for this guy in this problem here. So the y2 here, you see this guy will be the first guy to be the x1 y1. So of course the second one will be the x2 and the y2, right? So you just need to replace them. Once it has been replaced, you have what? Your y2, which is 3 here, right? Minus y1, which is 2 here. Okay, all over minus 1 minus 3. So that should be negative 1/4. So this negative 1/4 is the gradient. Okay, now that we have the gradient, we can easily move on and find out the equations of the line with one of the points here. So here I'm going to use the first point, that's 3,2. So this is the point here, right? So as I say earlier on, this is the equations of the line, right? This is what we know. So with this thing at the back of your mind, you need this y1, the m1, and the x1. So we find the the m, that is the gradient. So the x1, the y1 to be what? This guy here, right? This guy here. So this will be my what? The x1, and then this will be my y1, right? So we are free to go now. So we are having the y minus 2 here, which is the 2 here that we are having, this 2 here, and then we're equal to minus 1/4, which is the gradient here, and then into bracket x minus 3. Is that okay? So multiply everything by 4 because we want this guy to go away, right? So you multiply each term in the equation by 4. So when you multiply, you should arrive at something of this nature. That is the 4y minus 8 equal to minus 1 here into bracket s minus 3. So do your calculation and rearrange everything, send everything to the left hand side. You should arrive at 4y plus x minus 11 equal to 0. Is the equations of the line that they are asking us to find here, right? So this is how easy. So the key here is that you must know this guy at the back of your mind, that is the equations of a line. So out of this thing, you need to find your m and the y1 as well as the x1. Then you are free to go. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more simple and understandable content like this. Thank you for watching this video.